Hello, my name's Austin Snowden, Professor of Mental Health and the Principal Investigator on this study. So one of the key elements we were tasked with was to understand the impact of ICJ. And we could see that it was excellent in reaching those in most need. But I suppose to convert the less convinced, we wanted to perhaps have some easy headlines there where we could say that it impacted on. And so one of the things we thought about was, obviously ICJ improves lives, but does it save any money? Now, we thought about doing an economic analysis, but to do that properly, you have to really embed a randomized controlled trial. You have to embed the economic analysis within that. And of course, you can't do a randomized controlled trial of ICJ because you would have to then stop giving it to a proportion of people who are already getting it. And we can quite see that it's a fundamental good. So it'd be completely unethical to do that. So we thought about other ways of trying to identify savings. And one of the things we looked at was clinical time. Surely it saves clinical time. But again, it didn't save clinical time because, of course, once a nurse has seen one person, there's always someone else to see them. But what the nurses did say, as Jenny's already mentioned, is the nurses became more efficient. So it was a more efficient use of time. So we then looked at routine data. Surely, if we can match a sample equivalent to those people who've had ICJ, match them for age, gender, diagnosis, time since diagnosis, and deprivation category, we can then look at service usage that they've had, such as A&E admissions, mental health prescribing, unscheduled care, for example. Unfortunately, we did that. We got 1,000 people from ICJ, and we matched the sample with 1,000 people who were equivalent to them before ICJ in Glasgow, and we looked at their service usage. And we also matched them across Scotland for an equivalent group of people, matched according to those criteria. And unfortunately, we still didn't see any saving. In fact, it looked as if ICJ were actually the people who were using resources more. So we didn't succeed in creating an easy headline for someone to say, use ICJ and you will save money, because I don't think that's the case. We can't demonstrate that. But what we can say is that ICJ is definitely reaching those people who need it the most, and it's an excellent service. As part of the looking for economic indicators, we did embed what's called the EQ5D into some of our studies, and we did show that the EQ5D, which is a health outcome measure, it's a health reported outcomes, that went up. In other words, people got better as the HNA concerns went down. So there is definitely a relationship there. ICJ is definitely making people better. But we were certainly chasing smoke when we were trying to create a study that would give us an easy answer on the economic analysis. Anyway, I shall hand back over to Jenny.